Number 5. Fleetway Sonic the Comic. Now I know what people were thinking on this subject. Hey, this was a Sonic comic series that was only released in the UK! The series ended when the company went out of business. No one has heard about these comics. This would be a perfect episode for Forgotten Media. However, there's one website that pretty much explains why I won't do the Fleetway Sonic series. Sonic the Comic Online. Basically, it's a website that continues the series from where it left off, and it's still going. They got new characters in there, like we got Cream, who wants to be a freedom fighter, and we also got Silver the Hedgehog, who is a member of Gun in the future, which is very different from the usual counterparts in the games. And people are gonna watch this and say, this doesn't count because it's not official! Well, the people who continue on with the series is like a small company, and even members who worked on the series back then have also helped them out. They even stated that Sonic the Comic Online to be unofficially official. So what they're saying is, if you want to see the series continue, then Sonic the Comic Online is your answer. And that's one of the rules I mainly stick with to when it comes to Forgotten Media. If a series is still going, or if a character is still alive and being used, then it's not forgotten. Even though there's a bit of a fan art, that doesn't count either. So if you want more Fleetway Sonic, go to Sonic the Comic Online and enjoy to your heart's content. I'll probably still get people yelling at me saying, it's not official, it's not official, it's not official, but again, somebody's keeping the series alive. Number 4. Dexter's Rude Removal. Shortest explanation for this one. I would have done this in the past, but then Adult Swim somehow managed to find it deep within the vaults of Cartoon Network, and now that they posted it on YouTube, the whole world knows about it, and it's no longer a lost episode. But they've also taken it down for some reason, but a lot of people have already downloaded it and posted it somewhere else. So yeah, no rude removal. Number 3. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. This is pretty similar to Conquer and Fleetway Sonic, but in a different way because Oswald is no longer forgotten. I'm not sure why people have asked me this, because I'm like, come on, didn't you have Epic Mickey? We saw him back in action after all these years. He's not that forgotten anymore. I guess the reason why people have asked me to do Oswald is that they want to know how he ended up being forgotten. And I could do a video about that, but I won't, because I only talk about subjects that really are forgotten and we never see them again. I could have done Cartoon Planet, which was cancelled years ago, but then they brought it back, so I'm not going to do that one either. My main rules on characters on Forgotten Media is that if they're still using them and keeping the character alive, they're not forgotten. Characters I mainly consider forgotten are merely ones you don't see anymore, like KO the Kangaroo, the Combots, Rillaroo, and Croc from the Croc series, and so on and so on. I could have done Oswald like back in the past, but thanks to Epic Mickey and its new generation of fans, I'm not going to do Oswald. Number 2. Sonic characters that aren't that forgotten. It seems like I tend to get a few subjects related to Sonic that people tend to keep asking me about for Forgotten Media, and the forgotten Sonic characters is one of them. There are Sonic characters that are really forgotten, and ones that aren't really forgotten. The group of Sonic characters I will not do on Forgotten Media are Mighty the Armadillo, Ray the Flying Squirrel, Bart the Polar Bear, Bean the Dynamite, and Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Sniper if you want to call him by his Japanese name. These characters aren't forgotten anymore because of the Archie Sonic series. It's obvious that they're the only ones keeping the characters alive since Sega doesn't want them anymore. Knack is still going around doing stuff even though nobody knows what happened to his sister, Bark and Bean are still causing trouble, and Mighty and Ray just got done with a quest in finding Mighty's long-lost sister, who was a member of the Dark Egg Legion. There are also other characters besides the ones that I listed that might seem forgotten, like Vanilla the Rabbit, only seen in 3 Sonic games and in the Sonic X TV show. But she's not forgotten because, again, Archie Sonic universe. I could have done Max, March, and Sharps, which are characters that were going to be in Sonic's band in the first Sonic game, but they're not forgotten because, again, Archie Sonic universe. I could have done Honey the Cat, who was a scrapped character in Sonic the Fighters, but since they've re-released the game onto the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, and actually featured her in the game, she doesn't count. Another one might be the Battlebird Cuckoo, that were only seen in Tails Adventure, but I won't do those because, again, Archie Sonic universe. Man, it seems like the Archie Sonic series really knows how to make a good use of the characters that could have had potential in the games, but were quickly abandoned by Sega. And of course, I've usually said that Archie Sonic's on story and Sega Sonic's on gameplay. I think the Sonic characters I could do are the ones like Lumina, since nobody remembers that character, unless you remember torturing yourself with Sonic Shuffle, or Metal Sonic 3.0, who was only seen in Sonic Rivals 2, course, in the Archie Sonic universe, when they brought back the original Metal Sonic, now going by the name of Shard, his paint job pretty much looks like 3.0's. But anyway, I'm mainly not going to do Mighty Ray, Beanbark, Knack, or Vanilla on Forgotten Media because of how they're still alive in the Archie Sonic series. A series made by a comic book company, yet Sega is the one that gives the orders and tells them what they can and cannot do. Otherwise, they'd be fired for not following their rules. And the number one Forgotten Media episode that I will never do is The Problem Solvers. Why not? Yeah, that's probably everyone's reaction from hearing this, since I tend to get a lot of requests on the subject. And I sometimes think if I get a lot of requests on a certain subject, then does it really make it forgotten? Now, for some reason, I'm mistaking this name for another show, which was called The Replacements. And I'm like, oh, you want me to do that? Sure, I can do that. But when I found out what The Problem Solvers really was, I decided not to do it. And it's not because I don't want to do it because I want to forget it, or it's so bad I don't want to do it, because those are some pretty poor excuses. Remember when I did Out of Jimmy's Head? I really didn't like it, yet I still did the episode with very little material to work with back then? I don't even know much about the Problem Solvers besides these ugly-looking characters that do stuff. But the main reason I won't do it is that it's not cancelled, and that's the thing when I do Forgotten TV shows. I only do ones that are cancelled, they no longer air, or have any reruns, with the exception of certain shows that are only seen in foreign countries, like I heard something about Evil Con Carne airing in Mexico and something else. A good example for a Forgotten TV show would be the Forgotten Media episode of Project Geeker. Nobody remembers that show, even though there's a very small fan base and all the episodes are on iTunes. Besides, people still talk about how crappy the show is, and I've heard that they've been trying to get Season 2 to air, but they've been dealing with some network issues, and recently they showed a few reruns of the show on Cartoon Planet. Since they haven't announced that it's officially cancelled, it's pretty much stuck in development hell. This is a subject in media where they are stuck in development for so long, and that they are either released after all these years of work, or completely scrapped. And what's a good example of development hell? A co-op Forgotten Media episode of Super Robot Monkey Team, and Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Enough said. I also won't do anything that is in development hell, because it's not revealed whether it's going to be released or not. Remember when I made that old video years ago where I asked people if I should do Sonic the Hedgehog Who's Who Volume 1 on Forgotten Media? Yeah, it was in development for a long time, and I thought the company forgot all about it with the current stories and dealing with the Ken Penders lawsuit. But I quickly scrapped it, and we eventually got it under the name of the Complete Sonic Comic Encyclopedia, which I also happen to own. So that's all I have to say about Problem Solvers. Unless Cartoon Network or the creator of the series has officially announced that the series is cancelled, I will not do the Problem Solvers on Forgotten Media. So stop asking me to do it! Please. So that concludes my top 10 Forgotten Media episodes I will not do. And here are a few runner-uppers on other medias that I won't do. Code Lyoko, because a lot of people remember it, and of course it got Season 5 on its way. The History of Neo Geo. I would have done an episode on that, but since they've released the Neo Geo X, it's gonna be a while before it becomes forgotten again. Shaolin Showdown. Again, just like with Lyoko, you've already got a new series coming soon. Spyro the Dragon, because it's just like Crash Bandicoot and how it's not forgotten, even though you got that Skylander series, which doesn't even feel like a Spyro game. And that's all I can think of at the moment. I'm sure that there are other medias that I won't do, but you never know if I might do a part 2 to this list in the future. So until then, this is Melting Man 234 signing out.